Christy Dietrich Crawford, Vice President, Business Analytics and Finance.
Lakin Gibson, Vice President of Advertising and Internet Marketing.
Patrick Hicks, Vice President in Brand Management and Sales. Our company name and logo played a big role in our brand strategy. Our company name, Six Cycling Company, has a direct link to our carbon fiber bicycle frames, with carbon being the sixth element on the periodic table. This also played a role in the naming of our bicycle designs, like the element, black diamond, and graphite. When tasked with designing bicycles to add to the market, we turned to research to find what features our customers prioritized and what price they would be willing to pay for the finished product for each location. We decided the best strategy to start with was investing in lower cost designs and higher market potential in price point areas. This led us to work in recreation designs in the New York City and Amsterdam locations. After this, we continued to better our products by investing in more market research and development, while also adding new products to the market like mountain, speed, and youth bikes as the demand grew. With this, we were able to build a market position and defend it from our competition.
Pricing strategy was created by looking at each segment and region, showing us what customers were willing to pay in a particular market. This became our base price for each model. We then looked at what components were added through research and development. This may or may not affect the price of a particular model. We then would look at a similar product or model and compare our price to that of competitors. Products in each region were also compared against competitors by region. So if we were looking to increase market share somewhere a competitor was stronger, we would lower our price or offer a rebate to create a lower price. Additionally, we offered cash bonuses and incentives to promote sales. Sales priority was based upon the highest price brand in the North American market. In the European and MEA market, priority was given to our highest selling products. These pricing strategies allowed us to keep our competitive posture to build a market position and defend it, as well as continue our distinctive competencies of being the market share leader and the high service provider in the market. We expect the trends to continue in future quarters and will adjust our strategies as needed to remain the market share leader.
Advertising strategy was closely intertwined with brand strategy in that both relied heavily on product design and targeting market segments. One of our first challenges was to design an ad for each bicycle that would highlight and prioritize what we felt would grab the attention of a customer. The only problem with this is that we could not be sure what would grab their attention. Ad design adjustments occurred each quarter as we made changes to bike designs and took note of what other companies were doing more effectively with their ads. By reassigning the way ad content was prioritized, or the order in which it appeared on the ad or web page, we were able to better attract the attention of our potential customers. The channels through which we were able to market consisted of local media placement such as billboards, posters, newspapers, radio, and television spots, regional media or magazine inserts, social media marketing using websites and apps such as Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and internet marketing, which allowed us to promote our page and become more visible in search results. All means of advertisement had costs associated with them. Some had a basic activation and maintenance cost, which required us to either assign or ignore the campaign. Others, such as paid internet marketing, required us to designate a budget and place bids to compete with other companies for ad position. Such paid marketing campaigns also relied heavily on trial and error and required us to be adaptable but knowledgeable about the changes we needed to make to be successful. In the case of bidding on paid internet marketing, our strategy was to set a higher budget in areas where competition was more fierce, but maintain bids that were within 70 to 80% of the maximum average industry bid.
Our operating sales channels in all quarters were New York in the North American, Amsterdam in the European, and Nairobi, Marrakech, and Konya in the Middle East African region. Our decision to keep the New York office open was discussed in quarter 6, but ultimately we decided to stick with our market size strategy to focus on large, highly competitive, and geographic markets, even if they are more expensive. At the end of quarter 6, we expanded to Portland in North America. This was based on strategic decision to take market share away from our competitors, the Roadsters. We felt at this point we had developed very strong bicycle models in the mountain and speed segments and were ready to increase our market share by entering the Portland region. Portland had the highest demand for mountain bikes. At the end of quarter 7, we had the discussion to open a new store in the APAC region with Tokyo or the Latin American regions. We were able to open 2 stores in Buenos Aires and Rio de Janeiro compared to 1 in the APAC. We would open a store in Tokyo in the APAC region in quarter 9. Sales and service staff were added to each store for each segment. If we wanted to increase our sales in a particular segment, we added additional sales staff. Quarter 7 and quarter 8, cash bonuses and promotion incentives were added to increase sales and market share. We expect continued future sales to increase due to solid bicycle models, strong advertising, and loyal sales staff. We also believe our global presence has made our market shares increase, and this will continue as well. In quarter 5, we had our final investment from our parent company in the amount of $2 million. We began each quarter with a positive cash balance, which continued to grow. We ended our second year with a positive cash balance of $8,110,671. Our expenses increased each quarter as our company continued to grow. Some of these expenses were as follows: increased store leases as we grew our sales channels, increased sales and service personnel due to expansions of this growth, increased brand promotions and special programs in quarter 7 and quarter 8 to train our employees and increase our overall sales. Point of purchase displays were decreased in quarter 6 and quarter 7, but needed to be increased in quarter 8 to pull in sales as they were expected to be lower in the Northern Hemisphere. We had increased engineering costs as we continued to invest in research and development. Each quarter, we were able to invest in 2 new technologies to modify our current designs. This decision helped us increase our sales, which increased our overall cash flows. Our distinctive competency plan was to be the market share leader. We were able to accomplish this goal because we had the positive cash flow, which enabled us to invest in new sales channels, advertising, and research and development. In future quarters, we expect to continue to invest in new sales channels, advertising, and research and development. These strategies have proven successful in the second year and helped achieve the position of overall market leader. Our overall market share continued to increase until quarter 7 when we lost 1% from the previous quarter. However, we were still the market leader. We made the decision to enter the youth segment at the end of quarter 7 in an effort to gain additional market share. We gained a 52% market share by quarter 8. In the work segment, we were the market leader due to our strong bicycle design, advertising, and having stores in regions with high demand. However, in quarter 8, our competitors, the Roadsters, redesigned their model and tied us with market share. We decided to invest in puncture-resistant tires in new stores to help us regain our lead in future quarters. The recreation, mountain, and speed segments were very competitive. In the recreation segment, we were neck and neck with our competitors. In quarter 7, we recognized a 9% market share increase, only to lose 2% by quarter 8. We decided to open stores in the Latin American market to increase sales in future quarters. In the mountain, we were a dominant force until quarter 7 when CycleZone gained 12% of the market share. Investment in research and development helped us gain 5% back of our market share by quarter 8. We entered the speed market by quarter 6 and were able to gain market share each quarter by investing in research and development and new sales channels. We expect in future quarters to continue to invest in research and development, advertising, and open new sales channels to remain the overall market leader.
We could not be happier with our current market situation. We currently hold the number 1 spot for market share in each sector, with our overall market share being 44%, which is 13% more than our biggest competitor, the Roadsters, who sit at 31%. We are also seeing constant growth with the market each quarter. One of our biggest strengths would be our global presence, where we hold a store in all major markets. Another strength would be our strong position in each market sector. We do not have many major weaknesses. We would like to have a stronger market position in the recreation sector, where we only hold a 1% lead over the Roadsters. However, if we continue to stay ahead of the curve on design updates with R&D investments and continue to grow our advertising strategy, we should stay ahead of our competitors.
In the second year of operation for Six Cycling Company, we learned many things from the past and present to prepare us for the future. We learned how crucial market research data is when trying to determine whether or not our efforts are successful. We learned the impact of investing in research and development and the effects it has on product designs and marketability. As a functional unit, we learned how important it is to remain adaptable when market and customer needs change. As individuals and company leaders, we learned to maintain constant, clear communication in order to develop the best options for bicycle designs, pricing, and advertisements.